what's his name? I was looking through all the Chris Vosses in Las Vegas. No, not in Vegas.
So we're live right now. Hey, folks, welcome to the ChrisVossShow.com. Apologize for some of the technical difficulties we had there on launching. You can thank your good friends at YouTube. You may not want to make your payments this month to YouTube for that subscription service. Anyway, guys, we're here with an exciting guest I've been interested in talking with for years. We finally got the two of us together. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that bell notification button. You always hear that. Be sure to support the channel. We've got a patreon.com channel /Chris Voss. You get exclusive access to Facebook private groups, and you get some of the giveaways of some of the review products that we do on the Chris Voss Show. So there's that. So I've got a interesting CEO of a company called Saddleback Leather, Dave Munson. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Thanks. Glad to be here.
Now, you're down in Texas. Are you doing okay down there?
Yeah, actually, we're in Fort Worth, so
Fort Worth,
we didn't even get a lightning strike from that hurricane. So, yeah.
So I'll start out by telling my experience with Dave's company and how I came across it. I come across someone either reviewing one of your bags, or it might have been a Facebook ad or something along those lines. And I was like, oh, leather bags, this, leather bags. And I got looking at your brand, and you had this, I'm not sure what we call it, a motto: they'll fight over it when you're dead. And I remember reading that thinking, what? And then seeing a 100-year warranty that you had on your leather bags. And I was like, what is this? I've owned a lot of companies. I've interviewed a lot of entrepreneurs. 100-year warranty. It's just crazy. And so I was like, what is going on with this brand and this leather company that they're doing a 100-year warranty? And so I got on your guys' website. I started watching the videos where you've got crocodiles eating them. You've got elephants stomping on them. It's completely Indiana Jones, which we'll get into some more. And then I started reading stories about you your stories from Mexico, being a bullfighter, or trying to be a bullfighter, I guess.
That was a good one.
And some of your just adventures, and then you're like one of those guys who's just that salt of the earth guy. At least that's my impression of you. You live it, you work it, you're just that guy. In fact, with your goatee, you remind me a lot of what's his face from Metallica. I don't know if you ever get that, but you guys are kind of the same salt of the earth sort of people. You're just really into all that. And so I came across your bags. You guys sent me out a beautiful bag, which I sadly gave away to one of my family, and it's one of the biggest regrets of my life. But since then, you've sent us several different bags. My dog's has your leather collar. I think we gave away some iPad things that you sent us, and I think a wallet that we gave away years ago. But everywhere I go with your bags, people go nuts about them. And as an influencer, I'm always dragging around all the cool stuff that I have when I go out to events. And so people are always like, well, what is that? And everyone goes crazy for the bags. I've got two of them here. There's this one, and there's the smaller one that I think we recently got one. This is the Indiana Jones bag. And what you've done is you've actually recreated the Indiana Jones bag. And this is like the personal bag that you use.
Actually, I can't say Jones on there because then I get sued.
I said Jones.
You said Jones, but you can say Jones. I was like, okay, how do I do that? And see.
Yeah, so it's kind of, it might be in that, I don't know. We'll leave it at that. But everything, I watched your videos about how to copy a bag, which I think is a huge hit on YouTube, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, that one did us well. I was expecting to get, 12,000 views over a couple year period. It was, it's a long video, and man, it went wild as soon as we launched it. It went crazy.
And in reviewing your guys' products, I watched your videos and you talking about using the one piece and the importance and the difference between, some of the faux leather that's out there and the stuff you think is quality and it's not. And it's just an amazing story what you did with your entrepreneurism and coming from the background you did and just building this company. So I'll quit running off at the mouth at how great I think your brand is. But
seriously,
the one thing as being an influencer, the one thing people come to me and they go, hey, Chris, we know you review all those products. There's like 3,000 products we reviewed on the Chris Voss Show. And they go, but what do you keep? What's the products that you won't part with? Because they know that's the good stuff. And Saddleback leather is one of those bags. I mean, I get a lot of bags from a lot of companies. I will not give up my Saddleback leather bags, not after the first one.
Well, actually, I ran into this lady who's in charge of a big doctors group, and so then they always give Saddleback leather bags and notepad holders and stuff to their doctors, Christmas and stuff. She said one of her doctors said, "Oh, finally a Christmas gift that I won't give away." So kind of the same idea.
Yeah, I was just out to lunch with some friends, and they kept giving the bag the eye, like, we should steal that from him. They were like, that's a great looking, where do you get that? And of course, I end up telling your whole stories, because being an influencer, that's what we do. We love stories. We love interesting things. If we love a product, we just run off at the mouth with it, to the point that people are like, how much do they pay you for this? And you're just like, no, it's just a really great product.
I do that too. I was just telling, I met a guy, he's a outlaw country singer. He sounds like Johnny Cash, kind of old school, riding down the trail, dusty bottoms kind of thing. And I was like, I love your music. I don't like country music, but I like Johnny Cash. So I've been telling everyone about this guy for no reason. I just want him to be successful because I like him. Yeah. So I totally understand where you're at there.
Oh, and your dog Blue. I'm a dog owner, so I identify that in the story of Blue, and he's on the key tags, I think. And yeah, I mean, it's just a great freaking brand story when it comes down to it, and the care and love. You're like the Steve Jobs, I think, of leather, only without the being a jerk like Steve was.
I was going to add that in.
You might want to ask your wife about that. She might have a different opinion.
Well, when you go after, when you have a good why behind what you're doing, that really makes a difference. So
it really does. It really does. All my life, I owned companies and invested in companies, and I never loved or was passionate about any of them. I just like being CEO and resolving it. People used to be like, it's great you do what you love. And I go, I really don't love this. And so I've always been jealous of entrepreneurs like you who find their passion, live it, love it. I've seen the big tent house you have, the safari tent house, which is just
you saw that?
Freaking amazing. Yeah, I love watching all your videos when I get bored. I'm like, hey, let's see what Dave's up to,
Well, yeah, actually, so we were just this morning, we say it often, but we were out this morning, and we were in Texas, so it's a little humid in the summertime, a lot humid. And but this morning, some cold front blew in last night or something. It was beautiful this morning. We were laying there, and we had the heat off, of course, and so we, so it was a little chilly and a little nippy this morning, and man, it was fantastic. What a beautiful place. I feel like we live in a resort in these tents that we live in. So
if you guys are watching this, go to his website, saddlebackleather.com, try and find the tent video. And he has built this safari tent that's just like out of a movie, which we won't name, I guess, the members of the raiders of certain arcs. But it has that sort of feel to it. I mean, you got leather couch. I mean, you're sitting in a leather chair, I'm sure, that you made.
Yeah, pretty sweet chair.
So give us a little bit of background. Give us whatever story you want to tell about Saddleback leather. Why? I mean, 100-year warranty. They'll fight over it when you're dead.
So I was talking to a marketing friend of mine, and he's been doing it professionally for like 25 years. He knows the 4 Ps, the 4 pillars of marketing, and all this stuff. And he's a director in some big company. He moved up, in marketing. And so he said, Dave, listen, you really need to talk in third person instead of first person. He said, your dog story, don't have that on the front page. have, about your dog dying and, tribute to your dog, but then on your About Us page or something else, your personal page. And he said, and the whole negativity with the, you never use negativity in marketing. So instead of they'll fight over it when you're dead, why don't you use like, they'll desire your bags, forever or something like that. And I thought, I haven't taken any marketing classes, but it sounds like, I don't know, like I don't know. I just feel like we should do it. And so I guess because I didn't know how to do business and I didn't know any marketing, I guess that was maybe to my advantage.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it and I went, what the hell? And I thought it was, a little bit negative, but it made me go, who is behind this that has got, what is in this product that makes them so, to put that out there. I mean, they must, and then 100-year warranty, I came across that next, and I'm like, these guys must either really make a great product or I don't know what, and then, getting into your brand, how you build the leather. I learned so much about leather and buying leather from your videos. It's not even funny.
Yeah, we're actually creating a whole army of leather snobs.
Yeah. and then
I just educating people that like genuine leather. I mean, yeah, someone might go, I bought myself a genuine leather bag. And then someone else goes, it's genuine leather, which is kind of the crap. So I'm going to go for full grain leather. And so, just educating people on then there's so much more. I just learned a whole bunch about how the tanneries buy leather hides and different grades of cows, like different, like heavy steer bull,
mm-hmm.
or branded cow, all the different categories of how they buy from the slaughterhouses. It's just really interesting. There's so much to learn in the leather thing, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. You sit down and talk about the quality you put into it, where you put the bar in behind the handle so that it can't be easily ripped out. There's the one video where you actually feed bags to a crocodile, which is
that was awesome.
and it's interesting too. I should probably talk about some of the things you guys have. You guys have these great briefcases that can be turned into backpacks, and you also have backpacks as well. But you make these so that you can pretty much travel the world with these bags, and they're very versatile. Where you can take and you can carry them just by the hand. You can make it a shoulder bag. You can turn it into a backpack. And I think somewhere you said you make these bags so that you could travel the world with them if you want. And then of course we've seen the photos of you doing it.
Yeah. So the way I designed it was for myself. And then, so the way I figure with the marketing and all the designing things, well, I'll just make things for myself. And then all I have to do now is find the people who have my same taste, and then we'll be good. And so, so I put D-rings on there because I was actually the first briefcase. I didn't have any D-rings on it, and we were getting ready to take this hitchhiking trip around Mexico, mm-hmm. and I needed a place to tie stuff onto. So I said, hey, took it back to the bag maker, and I said, could you split it right here and stick some D-rings on it or sew them on there? Because I want to tie some stuff on here. So he put D-rings all over it. Not all over it, but on the sides and bottom. And I tied my hammock onto one side and my flippers and snorkel and mask onto the bottom. And then I had a blanket on the other side. And I just went around. It was really handy. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And so just, I made things for myself. And the straps come off to make like a belt or a dog leash, or to tie down the trunk of your car. Instead of sewing a little buckles on and a little strap to come down buckle, I decided to have the full strap so you could use it.
Yeah.
And just made it and tweaked on it and made new additions until I really liked it myself.
And that's the real beauty of what you've done as an entrepreneur, because this is, I think, the dream that most entrepreneurs have. They find something they're passionate about, they love, they make it with the quality that they would make for themselves. They don't go, well, we're going to ship it to China and we're going to, try and get the lowest common denominator or whatever and sell at the highest profit. Apple, excuse me. The I pick on Apple phones every now and then, but I mean, you really care. We saw some of that caring that Steve Jobs used to put into his work. He from his father, he learned from, I believe his father was a woodworker, carpenter, and he just learned the care about the hardware and the love of it and the passion. And you see a lot of that in your videos, the things you get into about them. And so I admire you a lot as an entrepreneur and what you've been able to do with it. It's a hugely successful brand. If you guys go to their website, saddlebackleather.com, as we're talking, you can see all the different things: briefcases, backpacks, wallets, belts, notepad holders and moleskins, desk, office accessories, home, book covers, tech. I think you guys have some phone things now, don't you?
Yeah. So in there, all the things that I do, that I design, I only do them if I like them. So like, or if I would use it. So like, for example, people go, oh man, if you made an iPhone wallet, that would be, I mean, you would just sell, man, you'd sell tens of thousands of those things. Please make an iPhone wallet. And I go, but I wouldn't use an iPhone wallet. There's something about it. Feels weird that I would throw my wallet away after a year or two.
That's true. You would have to do that, wouldn't you?
And so I don't know. I'm not against them. It's not like morally wrong to make an iPhone wallet, but I like to keep them separate. I like to have my phone just, if I'm, swimming across a river or something, pull it out of my pocket. I don't want to have my wallet with me. And so I just won't make one. And people are like, dude, you're missing out on so much. And I go, yeah, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I don't want to do one. So, but I do an iPhone. So, anyway, yeah, I just want to do things that I want to do, that I'll use, or that I think are really beautiful, like art. We have these leather dominoes that are really cool, and we have a leather backgammon set. I'm not going to become a wealthy man off of the backgammon set or off the leather dominoes, but I think it's beautiful. It's just so cool. And I thought, okay, I'm going to create this, and I bet you it's going to bring a smile to someone's face. And so if that happens, if I achieve that, then it's a worthy design. And I may not sell very many. I don't know. I have a leather coffin that I just designed. It's the coolest coffin.
The leather coffin?
Leather coffin. I'll even show you to you real quick. It's a cool coffin.
Is it a real coffin size, or is it
full size, like toe pincher? You know those.
Is that what you're gonna be buried in, Dave?
It is. Well, so I'm doing a little lesson on it. Like, I'm trying to figure out so I don't offend a whole bunch of people, but like, because you know how that goes online, you can offend people pretty easily these days.
They won't be able to fight over your coffin when you're dead, though. So
yeah, no warranty on this one. So check that out.
Oh my gosh.
How cool is that, huh?
That is, wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Everything you make just evokes that whole genre of Raiders of some movie stuff that I saw that we cannot name for trademark purposes. But yeah, it's just, and I got to tell you, knowing your brand and getting the emails over the years and then getting the products over the years, my dog's had her collar now for 3 years. The thing's almost like new. It's like crazy. And then watching how you travel all over the world with these things and the stories that you told about them, they're just amazing. And then one of the things you talk about in your videos and I think some of the website, you talk about, if you get a piece of leather from us and it maybe has some, I don't know if the right word's blemishes, but it has some different marks that maybe the cow picked up or whatever. That's a part of the character of that. And I kind of took that as a life lesson, especially what I've been through losing dogs and other things. And of course, look at me, I don't get much prettier than this. And I kind of took that as a life lesson that, you know what, you talk about this I think in one of your posts, embrace the scars. Those scars are a mark of where you went, where you traveled. They're I don't even know if I'm using the right words that you use, but that's what I got from it, where take your leather and put it through hell and beat it up and abuse it. And that's part of the character of the bag.
Yeah, you know, with my bag, my original bag, people would say, "Man, have you just gone? You know, what have you done with that bag? You must have traveled the world with that bag," because it just looked rough. And I was like, "Yeah, part of the world," but it was meant to kind of carry and tell stories, carry the stories that that it went through with different marks. And I have on my crocodile bag, I have a tooth mark where it went in, where it scraped it. I've got missing the D ring because it ripped it off, and
Yeah.
it just tells stories. And I think that I always thought, now women don't think it's so cool, but if you had a scar like across your cheek here, like or like three, so it looked like claws or something, like if that happened, if a lion just scraped across, that's kind of cool. If it happened, I wouldn't want to go through that, but it is kind of like a cool. It tells part of a story.
Yeah, it's part of your character.
The cows live life. Unless they lived in a condominium, they're going to have some scars, and they're going to have some, and they're going to have some painful moments in their life.
Yeah,
I think we all do. So,
and that's the makeup of the character.
Yeah. So the way the company started, let me tell you real quick. So I was living in southern Mexico teaching English as a volunteer at a place, needed volunteers, and kind of near Mexico City. And I thought, I'm going to I need a bag to carry my books, the students' papers and stuff. And I thought, what would Indiana Jones carry? And so I started looking around for a bag like Indiana Jones would carry. And I looked everywhere and I couldn't find one. So I gave up. And then I found a guy making bags. And I said, hey, if I had this bag, I'm floating around in my head, the one that I was imagining. And I said, hey, if I could sketch a bag out, would you make it? He said, yeah, sure. So he made it. And everywhere I went with that thing, people were like, oh my gosh, where did you get that bag? So I got back up to Portland, Oregon after my year down there. And man, 4 or 5 times a day, people tap me on the shoulder. I'm coming out of the bank. They'd come across the street. Excuse me, sir, where'd you get that bag? And I thought, maybe there's a business here. And so I ended up moving back to Mexico. Taught English I sold real estate for a couple of years down near Mexico City. I ended up living in Juarez, Mexico, in a little $100 a month apartment for 3 years. No hot water, slept on the floor with my dog. It was pretty rough. No air conditioning, no heat. In fact, at night, don't imagine this, but just listen. So I just take a shower, cold water. But I'd only take a shower right before I went to bed. And then I would go and no towel, just draining water, go lay on my bed, at a mattress on the floor.
Uh-huh.
And then I was able to go to sleep because it was cool enough. And then about 1 or 2 in the morning, I'd get up and I'd spray my bed. I had a water bottle. I'd spray my bed. It was so hot.
Yeah.
Spray my bed. And then I would lay back down on the wet bed and I go back to sleep. So I would have this father and son make bags and send them up on the bus up to the Juarez bus station. I'd go pick them up, take them over to El Paso and sell them on eBay. And then I'd take that money, go over to Juarez, deposit it into the Mexican bank there, their bank, and they would send up some more bags and I would sell them on eBay. And excuse me, until about 2006. Well, I kept going, but in 2006, in the very beginning, I was in Panama with my brother, and I checked the auctions to see how they were doing. My dad was doing the auctions for me shipping while I was gone. And I looked, and they were going for $710 each. And we had 2 of them. And then we gave a second chance offer to the third one for $705. And I was like, $2,025 in 3 days. We had 3-day auctions. I was like, what in the heck? This is great. And then I clicked out of there, went to MySpace, and that's before Facebook, 2006. And so I looked at MySpace, and there was this really pretty girl sent me a message. And I was like, oh, okay, I've seen these before. I'm lonely. I'm new in town. Maybe we could be friends. I forgot. I lost all my clothes in the fire, And I thought, so I was checking her out, and I was looking at her. She asked me a question. She goes, where is Multnomah Bible College, where I went to school? And I I studied theology. And so I looked, I was like, that's kind of weird. And so she loved God. She was really fun. She had lived in Germany. She did all that. I was like, hey, maybe we could, maybe this is the one. I was 34 and never been married. And she had never been married. She was 34 also. And so, yeah, I gave her a call, got back there to the States, flew in to see her, started kissing. And then next thing you know, we got married. So 9 months and 15
how it works, Dave. That's usually
9 months, 15 minutes later, we had our little girl. So, yeah. So anyway, we started the factory in 2008 down in Mexico because no one cares about your stuff as much as you do. And we don't even let low quality materials in the building. So, so we started making, we make for a few other brands also. But it's just been a ton of learning and a ton of fun. Moved up here to Fort Worth in 2000. She lived in San Antonio, so I moved there. And the business really started to grow. And it's been a really fun ride. Not without a bunch of stress and hardships and a bunch of theft and a bunch of fraud and everything else. But, every story you need that. You have the protagonist in every good story and you have the antagonist. And so otherwise it's not really that interesting of a story.
Any business I ever built, there was always the ups and downs, the pitfalls, the issues, the employees that would steal from you, the partners you'd have fallouts with, it's just, but you've survived it well, and you built just an incredible brand. And I love being an evangelist for your brand when I talk about it.
Well, I love you being an evangelist for our brand too.
In fact, the sad part is I have to push myself with the the stuff you've talked about. Get your bag out there, beat it up, get it nice and worn in so that it becomes that real leather bag. And they're so damn nice. I have a hard time like going, I really want to take that to this event, but man, I don't want to get it dirty. I know you probably hate hearing that, but I just love it so much. I'm like, I just want to take it some clean places because I don't want it to get nasty and whatever. But that's kind of the purpose.
Just get the first scratch. Like I got a Land Cruiser, a Toyota Land Cruiser. They're the highest quality vehicle in the whole world. Not the most expensive, not the most luxurious, but they're the highest quality vehicle over time. That's just the fact.
Yeah.
So I thought it was all shiny and clean, and I thought, all right, here we go. Put your seatbelts on, kids. So went through all this brush and through some trees, and I had these little pinstripes down the side now. I thought, oh, got that out of the way. You need to take it out, rough it up, just get it over with, drag it behind the car, do something, and then you'll be fine.
My friend used to have a Land Rover. He used to like to go in the mountains and see how many trees he could drive over with it. He's like, watch this. See that tree there? And you're like, that tree's bigger than the car. He's like, no, it's not. And you just be like, wow, okay, all right. I'm not sure what he's having, but I don't know. But it just the amazing way you make the bags. They're beautiful. They almost seem like new, partially because I probably don't abuse them too much. They make great camera bags, so I love them as a photographer. To take them out as camera bags, and then they're versatile. So if I'm out doing a camera shoot and I need to throw my backpack on there or do whatever, it's just great. And everything you make is like something right out of the movies when it comes to that genre of age of like the 1800s, I think it was, or early 1900s, I guess.
I tried to go old school on that. So like I don't do wheels on the suitcases because it would just take away from everything. So, and people will pay to go do CrossFit, and get in the best shape of their life and all that stuff, but then they pay someone to go mow their yard. I'm like, dude, why don't you just mow your yard? You'd be in good shape. Like the lawn guys are usually pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So, so the bags too, I'll go on a trip. We'll have 4 suitcases. I'll have 50 pounds each. I'll be, just jam packed. I'll have a backpack on, and a couple bags across my chest, one across, and we'll get to where we're going. And I'll go, man, I'm so sore in the morning. My traps are sore. My calves are sore. from all the carrying. And I'm thinking, that's actually, it's a good thing.
Yeah, you just saved yourself some gym money there.
Saves the gym money. And I mean, it's a workout. They're not the lightest bags. They're not for little snowflakes.
Yeah.
They're for men.
Men
and we line everything with pigskin, so that the pig is tougher than the cow. And so little bit makes it a little bit thicker, and it keeps its shape, and it's just a beautiful bag. I like it. I think
the cool story I remember from the first bag you sent me was it had a hidden pocket in the bottom, and I think maybe either been robbed or possibly been held up on your travels, and so you'd put this special flap that was a hidden flap in the bottom where you could hide your passport and everything. And I thought that was so cool. I'm like, this is awesome. And the novelty of knowing that there's like a hidden slat. And, I've reviewed bags from camera companies where they'll try and make bags that are into script. And then when you open them, the Velcro won't tear so that, people don't see, you as a photographer, hey, you got, expensive bag there. It's probably an expensive camera in there. You're trying to want to go undercover, or maybe you want to do stealth photography. You're in an African third world country, and if they catch you taking pictures of their government upheaval, whatever, you might end up in the clinker. So I thought that was really fun about your one bag with the hidden thing in the bottom.
Actually, we had a guy once, he wrote in and he said that he went to, we get different stories about that. He was in Uganda in a tent, sleeping, and someone came and cut the tent open, and in the middle of the night grabbed his bag. And he found a bag on the ground afterwards that just stole his flashlight, his shoes, his clothing. But he said the bag was on the ground, and he opened it up. Underneath was $300 cash, his passport, and his airline tickets. So another guy said he got his bag stolen out of his car. He had just been on a trip. He found his bag on Craigslist. He's like, there's my bag. That is my bag. It's for sale. I know the marks on it. That's my bag. Told the cops. They said, sorry. Can't help you. That's just a regular bag. Anyone could say that. He goes, oh, wait a second. He said he had put 4 $100 bills under the flap, the hidden flap, on a trip he was on. And usually when I travel overseas, I usually take $100 bills, and for that, because you can always exchange them. And he said he told the cops there are 4 $100 bills. They went to the guy's house with the police. The guy showed the bag. He lifted the flap up, 4 $100 bills.
Yeah. And the area we're talking about, for those of you guys who are watching this on video, it's in a different bag. It's not in the bag that I have here. But he basically, along the bottom, I suppose you would say, there's an inner flap that he's put in on the bottom. And it just literally, you can't even tell it's there. And you fold it out, and you've got stuff hidden on there. Because the other thing is, too, is I've had friends that have had their bags stolen. I mean, at knife point or gunpoint, when they've traveled internationally, they've had their camera stolen. And so being able to have a bag to protect them. And then one of the other things too, you have these really super thick shoulder straps. And one of the things that I've gotten over the years from people is these special steel run camera straps. Because what the guys will do is they'll come along on a motorcycle, they'll cut the strap and run off with your bag. But these things are so freaking thick. There's no way you're going to quickly cut that baby. It's just heavy duty. I mean, your straps between this and then the quality belt buckle or the quality buckles that you put on here, I could whip this thing and probably knock somebody out with it.
Yeah, it's as good a hardware as we can get. So,
yeah.
Hey, so one of the things we're trying to do with these guys, with this business, is if I never sold any more bags, if I just stayed the same size, we didn't really grow, I'd be okay with that, because what we're doing is we're trying to influence other businesses to think differently about their business. So it's kind of nice having money to travel and do stuff like that, but I did it when I was broke. You just save up and the car, But there's joy that comes from investing in people. So like we have a daycare at our factory, and a guy came in there the other day and he said, He's a stitcher. His wife works for us too. And he said, he just came up to talk. HR brought him up to the office, and he said, he just started crying. He walked in the room and started crying. I was like, okay, what's going on with Renato? And he said, why are you doing it? Why do you have the daycare? I don't understand it. Why do you have the daycare? He said that he used to drop his kids off on Sunday night at some in-laws' house really far away, and then and then he'd pick them up on Friday night or on Saturday night, depending on if he had extra overtime. And so he said, I was feeling real guilty. I wasn't being able to be a father. But we didn't have money for daycare, and we didn't have family living near us. So we were kind of screwed. And so he said, now I get to put my kids to bed at night. And now I get to
Pretty awesome.
I get to be, and my mom, my wife gets to brush their hair in the morning. It's just a beautiful thing. And he was like, he just said, man, thanks. And so I said, what we're trying to do is to get other businesses also to be thinking about their employees and caring for their people, not just trying to make a profit, but actually, call it an employee retention program, call it whatever you want. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to influence other businesses, and there are a lot of businesses that do that stuff. Patagonia is a great business.
Mm-hmm.
They're responsible with their money, but it's not just all about the profit. But there's a lot of joy comes from investing in people's lives. So that's we're people.
This is why I've always liked your brand, because I've seen that through your brand being communicated through your brand throughout the whole thing. Between CS and all the different places that we go to do press and review products, I get, a ton of emails from people from all levels of PR. But I love reading your newsletters that come out, especially the ones that are just at whatever story you're telling. And they're just always fun to read. They're always interesting. It just comes, I really admire your brand because it's just the genuineness of it is just there between the product, caring about your employees, caring about your customers. You guys even went through a dilemma where you guys really were undervaluing or underselling your products at the price points you were at and needed to make that adjustment. And you just came out and had a real heart-to-heart, honest conversation with your customers and said, look, we need to be charging a little bit more for these to pay for what we're paying for. And I think they stood behind you and
most of them.
Most of them. and honestly, Dave, I was kind of for a long time going, we really should charge more for these. It's just a great product. And like I said, everywhere I go, I love taking them out and showing them off because people are always like, hey, what's that? And I'm like, hey, I've got the new Samsung Galaxy. AT&T sends me phones. And they're one of the supporters of the Chris Voss Show, especially when we do events. And so, I'll be like, hey, I have the new AT&T phone. They're like, no, what's that bag there? And they, I always give it to them, let them fiddle with it, whatever. I always have a bunch of gadgets that I take out that I love to carry around and evangelize. And so, they all get to play with it, pass it around the tables or whatever, and see it. And they'll always, the question will always come out, hey, so can I have this? Because you got plenty of stuff, right? No, that's the one you don't have. And I'm not kidding you. People write me all the time. In fact, one time I said I should just set up a 1-800 number for what to buy for Christmas and this year, this month, whatever. And they always settle up to me and they go, Chris, we see all this products you do and you say this product's good and that product's good. They go, but what do you keep? What is it? What do you give away and what do you keep that you won't give away? And Saddleback leather bags are on that list, man.
Man, that's it.
And it's just, the quality is just impeccable. And I've told my mom, I'm like, if anything ever happens to me, make sure you get my bags.
We've had people say they've gotten their bag stolen. They're like, just give me the bag back. Keep my computer, keep my wallet. Just give me my bag back, please. And they're so emotionally attached to their bags.
And it comes back to that character too, of the bag and what it's about and everything else. And I just think it's so great that you made that you made a product that you love, and you put so much care and love into it that I don't think you'd release a product that you didn't feel, you'd love yourself and had your level of integrity into it.
No, I've got a number of bags and briefcases, that sort of thing, that I just go, no, I don't like the shape of it. I don't like the look of it. It's not functional enough. It's too snowflakey. Nope, not gonna release this one. And people go, oh, but we can sell a ton of them. And I just go, it just doesn't seem right. I don't know. There's something about creating and something about creating. I think it's just in us that we like. People love to be outdoors, so you have parks. People love nature and they love creating. And so I have this cool little thing where we can, seriously, it's really cool. I can create things whenever I want, and anybody can do it. But it's just really fun. I think people also, when they carry the bags, they're sharing what they value. They go, hey, this brand values caring for people. They value innovation and creativity and quality, and that's me. So look, I'm carrying the bag. So like you value those things. It's just in you, and so when you carry the bag, this bag represents who you are. Yeah. So my brother-in-law said he used to work at this place where he had to wear a suit, and every day everyone wore suits. Everybody looked the same except for their ties and their socks. And he said they'd have golf balls and gloves, or they'd have ducks and shotguns on their ankles, on the socks, and they were, oh, you're a duck hunter. Oh, that's cool. Or you like golfing, or oh, you like food. They'd have all these foods, but people want to share about what they value and what they're like in some way. And usually the bag, when they carry the bag, they go, I like Indiana Jones. I like helping people. I like quality. I like, so it's a representation of who you are, what you
care. When I got this bag, which is the Raiders name we can't mention,
Indiana gear bag.
The gear bag, my bag, yeah. And the story of how you made this pretty much the size specifications, and only you kind of made it with your own look. But some of the things, when you really watch your videos, and you really explain in depth about the bag, why the copper rivets are there. I remember getting it and thinking, why is this bar here? Why is that there? And then watching your video and understanding how important that is, making sure that it doesn't get ripped out, it gets caught on something and get pulled out. The copper riveting, the pig skin on the inside. It's just a beautiful bag. It's just gorgeous. And what's funny is everywhere I go, people just go crazy with it. They're just like, oh my God, what is that? And the thing is, I give a lot of stuff away. I don't have kids and I have a wife. So I have 2 dogs. I'm that single bachelor guy. Engaged twice, just couldn't. I just not a good sharer, I guess. I don't know. But I have a nephew and a niece, and so I spoil them. They get a lot of the stuff, and then I'll give stuff away. I'll go out. I have like 6 or 7 meetup groups here in Las Vegas. I'll give stuff away at those things, and so people are used to me giving away bags and everything else. And so anytime they see these bags, they're like, so is that one of the giveaway bags? No, there'll be no giving away this time. No, it's one of those, you can what's the gun line? You can have it when you pry it from my dead hand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a beautiful product, and you're just that full encapsulation of when we, as a marketer and a social media maven, we always talk about what brands should do, how they should build themselves and everything else. And you're just the full encapsulation of just great integrity, honesty, salt to the earth, building great products, caring beyond caring.
Much, Chris. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, and it comes across in all you guys' stuff. So I encourage anybody who's watching, go to Saddleback Leather, buy their bags, and they make great gifts because we're coming down to Christmas. If you want to give somebody a great gift that seriously tells them you love them, get a Saddleback Leather. And I've shared your video too on social media a lot. The tent video. The tent video is just amazing. Like it's just
Yeah, seriously. I gotta. I mean, I don't pat myself on the back for very many things. That was a really good one. That was, seriously, we've been there for 2 years now, over 2 years living in the tents. And in fact, it's funny. We were moved here to the Fort Worth area, and we're living with my folks until we were going to build a house and all that sort of thing. And so we went to this church, and my wife got involved in this women's group, and we just started, and they wanted her address and all that sort of thing. So she put homeless, kind of. And then the kids in Sunday school said, "We live in tents." so the one lady said, "I'm kind of concerned that we have this homeless family going to our church." And then someone else goes, "No, well, they're kids. It's the Munsons, right? They're kids. They said they live in tents." So, pastor's wife, she had talked to Suzette. She had been out there. She goes, "Oh, you guys, don't you worry about the Munsons. They're okay."
That thing is like it looks like something out of an African safari, big, I don't know what they call them, but, you know, just a big company tent, and then the whole thing is just furnished with leather. I mean, it's just
yeah. Well, so the greatest tent maker in the world. I was doing a documentary on the making of this canvas line that I did. And so I traveled around, went to Scotland, the best canvas in the world, the best wax canvas. Went to Kenya to this guy. He was the best tent maker in the world, and 180 employees. I mean, he makes them for everybody, kings, and I mean, presidents of the president of Kenya. He made his tents for him, and they have a lot of tents in Kenya. And so anyway, this British Kenyan guy, he came over. I said, "Hey, can you make some tents for me?" And so we thought, hey, while we're building the house, we'll build these tents and put them up. Because when I interviewed him about the seams on his tents, how to keep water out, and how they fold over the canvas and that sort of thing, I was like, oh, this is super cool. So I went back and I said, hey, honey, while we're building the house, instead of renting or living with my folks, let's put up some tents. So we did, and we just said, you know what? Put the house on hold. This is too cool.
Yeah, and you're right on some waterfront property. I wish I had a picture around here for it, but people need to go to the website and check it out. But check out this. You've got an elephant stomping on your bags, just putting them through a brutal testing that I don't think anyone ever does with their leather bags. I don't think anyone's ever said at a leather company, hey, you know, we should test this bag out. Why don't we feed it to an alligator and see if it holds up? And so just the more from the pinnacle of me going, who are these guys with a 100-year warranty and they'll find out when you're dead? Either they have some sort of bravado, or this is one hell of a product. And then, you know, the first thing I discovered was the videos, and then just wow. And the care you put into them, learning about them. I mean, it's almost like going to college for these bags, which I'm sure you probably have a college degree at this point when it comes down to professionally knowing how these things working.
I got a thinking master's in leather.
Yeah.
What not to do.
Probably a PhD at this point from all the
right.
Yeah. But yeah, and then you guys have grown since 2012. You guys have added a lot more products, done a lot more things. I think you've got a new line out. Is this like a woman's line? The Love 41.
It's 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that's my wife's. So all the money from Love 41. She's actually really is amazing. I got an amazing wife. And here's a little thing about being single. It's better to be single and wish you were married than to be married and wish you were single.
It's better to be
single and wish you were married.
Yeah.
Than to be married and wish you were single. So, but I got a great wife. Seriously, I got a super cool wife, and she's really fashionable, and she's really a fun, an amazing wife. And we were over in Rwanda. She goes, hey, I feel like I should do something more than just Saddleback being, you know, Dave's sidekick kind of thing on Saddleback. So she started Love 41, started designing bags, really high quality along with us, but more for women, more fashionable, more just cooler. And so all the money from there goes to women's program in Rwanda and a daycare for them when we got the kids off so they can go study sewing. And then our sewing machines fund fund the sewing machines our sewing machines in Mexico fund the sewing machines in Rwanda. These women, 70 women, vulnerable women every year get a sewing machine when they graduate. And it's anyway. So Suzette, she Love 41 fully. All the money from there goes straight to Africa or Mexico to help people. So pretty cool. It's a cool little thing we got going here.
Well, I'm glad you failed at being you failed in a survivor sort of way of being trying to be a bullfighter. That would have been bad.
I was thinking, pumping my fist, like, yes, for like seriously, like a week after that. The adrenaline didn't leave my body for a week. It was super cool. But anyway.
I'd be worried about being gored, but yeah, it's fun to watch all your videos, pictures, and the Instagram stuff where you travel the world with these bags. I think some of the videos you're touring around the world, showing people how the bags work, and walking through how to turn them. I think just about every bag, it seems, turns into a backpack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has a bearing, the shoulder strap comes off.
It's dual use.
Yeah, it makes it into a backpack. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's just amazing. Like I have these dreams one of these days, loading these babies up and going to Africa with them and just going full on, with the look of Indiana.
Well, Chris, we're going in February. If you want to go, bring your bag.
Bring your bags.
We're going to February. It's great.
I don't want to get them dirty. They're really nice looking.
No, you love it. We've taken about 300 people to Rwanda now.
Yeah,
in different places. So, dude, and they all come back all healthy and safe. Well, generally.
Generally, I'm not gonna ask what the generally part of that means, but the bags are just so nice, and the quality of it, and where you talk about how it's using the one piece and I actually go through. Like your videos, when I show these to people, I go, see how this is cut at one piece, and it's designed that way, so it's it's not going to fall apart. Look at the stitching, the copper riveting, and people are really impressed with it. And it's amazing how much people really don't know about quality of leather out there. I mean, that's something that you get into in your videos about the quality of leather and stuff. So,
education.
So. Anything more you want to tell us, Dave? We don't want to take up all your day talking about me bragging on your product.
Well, I appreciate all the kind words. Seriously, we're trying. They're not the best bags for everyone, but they're the best bags for me.
I think they're awesome.
Not everyone has the same taste, but no, we're just trying to get other people to see how we do business, and also promoting quality, because poor quality keeps poor people poor, and they can't afford much, so they buy the cheapest thing, or they don't know the difference, and then it goes into the trash, goes into the landfill, and I mean, millions of bags every year go into landfills.
Yeah,
and if you buy one bag, and the cost of ownership, it might be $10 a year, but as opposed to just buying junk, and the cost of ownership, if it's $100 and it lasts 2 years, is $50 a year. It's not worth it, as opposed to $500 and it lasts for 30 years.
Even my dog's collar that she has, I bought when she was a baby, and normally we go through dog collars, they get nasty, especially the cloth ones. That thing's like still brand new. Like it's like, I wish she was around here, I'd pull it off of her, but it's still like new, and it's like 3 years old now.
Oh, that's great.
And she's a husky, so they don't mess around when they play and eat and roll in the dirt and everything else. But it's just like new. That thing's gonna be, it might outlive her. So if you've got dogs or I think cats too, right? Yeah.
Or if you had one, leave a tribute to your pet on our pet cemetery. We call it internally. It's kind of like. But it's a place where people can leave a little note to their dog or their cat, and just tell them thank you for your life. And it's just a nice little place to bury your pet emotionally. So we have that on the site under My Tribute to Blue. So, but yeah, anyway, we hope people to come by and at least check us out, help us get the word out, and help us say no to low quality.
So folks, check out saddlebackleather.com. I think, is it Saddleback Leather on Twitter?
Yeah, Saddleback Bags.
Saddleback Bags on Twitter. And then, of course, you guys have an Instagram.
Yep, Instagram, Twitter. We're getting a little more involved in Pinterest again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a very active group. We have some Saddleback Leather fan groups, different ones. We have hater groups, which means that you're doing something right. And in fact, someone the other day posted, they posted that they hope that on our next trip to Africa that our kids get kidnapped and sold into sex slavery.
I think I saw the newsletter you put out on that. It's
and
really
so that's
on your Facebook fan page.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And so that means you're doing something right when you have people with such hate.
You know what I have with the reviews that we do on the Chris Voss Show? You can always tell when the competitors come in and they try and write comments, and they'll write these things like, "Oh, I bought this product and it's awful." And so you can always tell when it's not a real person; it's their competitor trying to trash the brand.
Yeah.
And I'll see that in the comments, and I'll be like, that's not a real person. That's obviously the competitor, because they'll talk in a way where you're just like, that's not the thing. But I really, and I never have been a leather person. I think I did Tandy leather when I was a kid. We went to a leather shop and I hated it. I hated anything that was manual labor. I'm just that way. And I'm horrible at building anything when it comes to working with my hands. So, I just had to scratch that. But, I've reviewed, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 camera bags over the years. And so usually that's why people pull me aside. They go, what do you keep? Because I see it all, and so one of the reasons I love your brand isn't just the stories behind it, but I've seen the good quality, the bad quality, the good, bad, and ugly that's out there. And I know what good quality is, or at least I would hope I do, after seeing so many bags pass through my stuff. So cheers to you, mate. And
thank you so much.
Keep on doing the great stuff. We'll keep evangelizing the stuff, and looking for the good products that you come out. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Dave, and taking the time out of your day. And I'll send you a link once this goes up on the podcast. We'll be on iTunes and Google Play. Be sure to subscribe on there, guys, for the Google Play channels. You can subscribe to the podcast. iTunes, of course, go to our patreon.com/Chris Voss. Go to our YouTube channel, of course, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you get all those notifications. Thanks for tuning in. Check out saddlebackleather.com. Check out Dave's story. This guy is a salt of the earth guy. He's one of those guys that you just kind of feel like you could sit around and have a beer with him all day.
Hey, next time I'm in Vegas, let's do that.
Let's do it. Or if I ever come out your way, bud.
Fair enough. All right. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
Take care.
Right. Bye-bye.